People of the internet, today we have another example of why Kill Tony comedians suck. And that example is the one, the only William Gamarie. And today we're going to see him bomb so hard he is booed off stage. And then we will see his response to his comedy fiasco. Probably excuses, but you never know. So let's get to it.
That was bullshit! That was a good joke! Maybe that one! But not... And sir, what's your heritage? Are you Pacific Islander, the dark-skinned looking guy right there? God, somebody kill this woman! Okay, where am I? Coming out with the new television. God damn it!
Oh my god.
Well, Austin, it has been a wonderful pleasure. Thank you so much.
I tried to tell people that yelling is not comedy. He has just relied on screaming, yelling, being angry, and that doesn't work. The reason it works is because the crowd is a lot of lost, lonely men that are angry, that are frustrated, that are looking for somewhere to get their energy out because they can't get women. And that's why they respond to him, because they're losers, basically. And thus, William is finding out that he really isn't a comedian, that he's just been allowed to get away with it in the comedy mothership for this long. But in reality, I mean, who brings a notebook up to your comedy set? I mean, I get it if you're at the club and you're working out, but for a festival? That's how prepared you were? When are we going to realize that the test of comedians for the Rogan sphere has proven they are terrible? If they leave the mothership, there is no laughing, and I'm just saying, you can call them comedians inside the mothership because they control it and they bring in their own crowd that is like delusional, lost, like maybe they put something in the water, I don't know. But whenever one of these comedians leaves the mothership, it's a disaster that I'm willing and waiting to happen. I'm willing for it to happen. Let's go. I love these disasters because they're proving all the lies of the Rogan sphere. These guys are not comedians. They're not funny. And if you find them funny, I suggest you get help now.
Apparently, William Montgomery just got heavily booed at a comedy festival. The clip is making the rounds, and it raises some interesting questions. First, I was surprised to find out this happened in Austin, where William has lived and performed as one of the main acts of the biggest comedy podcast in the world. This festival was held outdoors. I can't find official attendance numbers, but they seem to have gathered pretty large crowds. And I just find it so odd that comedy fans in Austin would find themselves in a festival while having no idea about who William Montgomery is and what his act is all about. Maybe...
guys, I have to admit I'm wrong. When I said whenever they leave the mothership, I mean they literally have to open the door and go outside of Austin. Even Austin didn't find them funny. Isn't this how I'm just baffled. How can this scam continue to go on? And then again, right? MLM scams. I mean, Avon, is Avon's the one where you win a pink Cadillac, right? You have Herbalife, you have all these, and they continue. I guess people are just willing to waste their time, their money, and their mental sanity for scams. This is the only reasoning. Literally, every one of these comedians has bombed in some of the greatest fashions outside of the mothership. I mean, it's starting to sound more and more like actually a cult. Actually, because the facts are just overwhelming at this point.
The Rogan sphere didn't take over all of comedy after all, and people are just living in their bubble, confusing it for reality. Then I looked up the festival's lineup, and I don't know any of these names, so maybe I'm living in a bubble too. I then had to find out more about this amazing comedy I was missing out on because of the Rogan sphere, and well,
I'll be a good girl, you can do your worst. Now fist that ass and make that pussy squirt.
You killed it. One more time, you killed it. What?
Is Joe Rogan comedy mentoring this guy right here? He that was a classic Joe Rogan 2001 move right there. That's what he called the old little leg spreader. And man, I guess Joe Rogan is having an effect. You know, someone in the crowd should have just like snuck a stool in and put it up there to see how this guy reacted. Yeah, it would have made for good TV, folks.
16!
I didn't know. Have a seat. I didn't know that shit. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, that's live. He was sitting there doing the old Joe Rogan classic tiny leg spreader, and boy, that's what happens when you go to Austin, folks. And, a little off subject, but did Joe Rogan really go to Epstein parties? Moving on.
I didn't know shit. I don't know what I didn't know. My bad.
feel free to take a moment because I know this was a lot. This is Morgan J, the headliner of the festival, a true comedy genius, and brace yourselves as I quote directly from his Wikipedia page. Jay rose to fame by packing his work in music and stand-up comedy into short-form content on TikTok and Instagram. His music often combines auto-tune, pitch correction, guitars, and vocals. His focus on social media has driven 4.2 million followers to his Instagram and 7.2 million followers to his TikTok. His following is largely made up of Gen Z fans, many of whom cite his performances as their first comedy show. Jay refers to his fan base as the Goofy Gang. This is really advanced stuff. Let's try to wash this taste out of our mouths as I play for you all of the clips I could find of this crowd of future Nobel Prize winners, and then we'll get into more of this festival's lineup and what this means for the future of William Montgomery and the Rogan sphere.
Get out of here. Get him out of here! Holy shit! What the fuck did you just say to me, bitch? Don't call her a bitch!
You see, when you're an incel and you spend so much time alone and in your room, covered in your blankie with your Dorito dust hands, mashing away at the keyboard as you race to get the next Reddit argument comment, you end up like this, because this doesn't work in real life. Now, if he wasn't in stage and he did that stuff in real life, you would see a different kind of William Montgomery article, right? Especially in some of these, maybe not Austin, but I'm just saying. This kind of talk and comedy and jokes only works for people on Reddit chronically, Kill Tony fans, which are a combination of Reddit chronically and mentally delusional man. And I think that's about it. Karen's the other like destructive force in the world. They not so much. They would actually fight back against this. So you see that the lowest form of man in our society, that's who his audience is. Unfortunately, the rest of the world has more than 2 brain cells, so they don't get it. Let's continue to watch this disaster.
Yikes. Controller and you have to watch me play?
Throw that tomato.
So I started taking weed Viagra, but the only problem is whenever I smoke it, my eyes get hard. And y'all just need to buckle in, because I'm... Courtney, don't! You know the craziest part about Elliott Smith's suicide? Courtney Love did it! This is one of my best jokes. Maybe at some point you'll like that in the future. I don't know. Pro tip, if you ever get to meet Bone Thugs in Harmony, don't ask, which one of you is Harmony? Okay, we got a couple Bone Thugs fans in the crowd.
Recording how bad he is.
Leaning Tower of Pisa? Here for? That was bullshit! That was a good joke! Maybe that one! But not... And sir, what's your heritage? Are you Pacific Islander, the dark-skinned looking guy right there? Yeah? Let's keep moving the fucking nasty looking...
Honestly, guys, the more I look at Kill Tony fans and Kill Tony comedians, I'm convinced. I think we need to lobby some of our senators and get them to allocate a portion of the mental health money for America and create a re-education into society, kind of like a camp, right? Where they each get like a bunk and it's kind of military style. And we get the brainwashing of Kill Tony out of them. And literally, if we have to take a sponge, we give them sponge. We'll shave their heads and we'll sponge them, right? And I honestly think we need to get these men quickly to some help. I think that anybody knowing this guy's name is absolutely devastating for our country. I think it's going to cause horrible damage for the future generations of men to come. And if anyone's in, can we start a GoFundMe or something for re-education program for Kill Tony fans? I think it's a good idea. In fact, I think it's absolutely necessary at this point. It's too late, folks. We've let this go on for too long. It's time to take back control and assert some government funding to help these guys.
What saying that to me? Damn, bitch! God, somebody kill this woman! Okay, where am I? Quick housekeeping announcement. If you're the driver of a tan 2003 coming out with the new television, God damn it!
Oh my god.
This is a weird rumor, but I heard the Aaliyah plane crash happened because the pilot tried to ghost ride the whip. Okay, I was a little worried that one might not do good in this.
Oh my god.
It's in the front! Oh, don't flick me off, bitch! Okay, where am I?
Oh my god.
Walker, more like Paul Crasher! I heard the reason Paul Walker died was because the director forgot to say cut! What do we have, a bunch of fucking pussy-ass Paul? I got bitch in the crowd tonight!
You see, this is a classic case of someone not right up there. I'm serious. These, I'm starting to look at Kill Tony fans as like feral animals. They just they this is bad, folks. I think can we bring can we have one of them old classic telethons, where we get some like Las Vegas show singer or some classic movie actor to help beg for money for these guys to get help. What was Jerry Lewis? Who remember? Oh, that's people probably don't remember Jerry Lewis. Remember Jerry Lewis used to do it? Him and wasn't it Mickey Rooney? Anyways.
Well, Austin, it has been a wonderful pleasure. Thank you so much.
They're cheering for him to get off.
Of course, William is pretty much an acquired taste. I was already watching Kill Tony when he came on, and I wasn't into it initially. Pandemic William was just awesome, and now it's getting beyond repetitive, as Tony has him doing the same stuff over and over to close out the shows. But just knowing that the TikTok dancers hate him makes me have a new appreciation for him. This is something I really wish I could have experienced live, right in the middle of the crowd. I'm not gonna force you to check out every single act on this lineup, but I was honestly curious. If that's the headliner, what else was on there? Like, who was going on right before William? So I googled this Robbie Hoffman chick, and some of you might know her. She sounds and looks like Larry David. It's not really for me, but it's nearly not as insufferable as the auto-tune guy. Here's a nice bit from her.
My mother is homophobic because I'm gay. So that checks out. You know, she's not like homophobic for no reason. This shit happened to her. She got it right. Easy for you not to be homophobic. This happened to your kid? No, shut up. Fuck. You know, and in general, your parents are homophobic because you're gay, and they made you, which means one of them is fucking gay.
Anyway, I think William will be just fine. It's probably good to have bombed at this place, and I do think the Rogan Sphere takeover is a really overblown issue. Seems to me like there's plenty of other comedy out there, whether you like it or not, and there's even comedy fans in Austin who have no idea who William Montgomery is, so if you're bothered by any of it, maybe go outside and touch some grass. I'm going to stay right here in my basement. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Guys, we've got to go touch grass because we are bothered by the Rogan Sphere. Isn't that it? Isn't that right? We got to go touch some grass. All right. Yeah, what it is what it is. But now for William Montgomery's response. Oh, gosh. Yo, we're taking bets. Excuses. Someone did something in the crowd, and there's a guy, and he messed it all up. Let's see what he has to say. Here we go.
I had, I think, the worst set I've had in years on Saturday. Within 30 seconds, I can tell it's not going good. A minute later, some random guy comes up onto the stage and he reaches for the microphone and he says, "You're garbage. This is garbage."
Awesome, right? It's awesome. Garbage, bro. Garbage, bro.
And people are screaming at me.
By the way, that was one of my viewers. We raised him right.
Get off the stage. Oh. And then I got to do 23 more minutes. But towards the end, it was actually kind of fun because I told one joke, my Paul Walker, Paul Crasher. And then I met with just this sea of booze.
Walker, more like Paul Crasher. I heard the reason Paul Walker died was because the director forgot to say cut. What do we have, a bunch of fucking pussy-ass ball? What happens in the crowd tonight?
I had, I think, the worst set.
Well, at least he admitted it was a bad set. Yeah, this is what it is, right? This is what it is. But what it actually is is that we are all right. Kill Tony comedians are absolute dog shit. Always have been dog shit. Always will be dog shit. And let's not forget a generation of lost lonely men. Please speak to your senator. Please join our telephone. And please help us raise money for a re-education program for Kill Tony fans. It's up for you to make a difference. Donate today, folks. You just may save a life.